Jeff Taylor, the president and CEO of the Greene County Partnership, joins us in the studios this morning. Good morning, Jeff. How are you today?
Doing well. Good morning. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here as we continue to muddle through the coronavirus, COVID-19, and see how that's affecting the community and jobs and all kinds of things. You were here the last time to talk about a grant process that the partnership was opening up to provide assistance. Tell us how that's going and who's that helped so far.
It's going very, very well. We, as I've said more than once, and continue to advertise and say thank you to our community. We live in a very generous community. In less than right at 3 weeks, we raised over $100,000. We did have a very generous donor match the first 50,000. So between the match and additional private and civic club donations, we raised over $100,000. To this point, we have awarded 16 businesses. You'll see, glad to announce that out on the radio today, and the Greenville Sun will also have some coverage as well. It was an array of small businesses that had a multitude of needs, and a lot of these smaller businesses were young entrepreneurs. People talk about we don't have young people living here and starting businesses. We actually do, and they're more here than you know. You just have to get out and about and see them. But it was very exciting to be able to assist and help push through a rough economic period for a lot of these smaller businesses that the PPP didn't fund.
How did that grant process go? Is it just an application through the partnership?
Yes, it is. So out on the website, or you can swing by or call, and we can email it to you. It is a grant. It does ask for some financial information. It's all confidential. We have a very strict policy of confidentiality, but it's a grant process, and it's ongoing. It never quit. And so the review committee does a great job of trying to assist as many people as possible.
Where is it on the webpage? Do you go under, it's right there under... Is it right on the front? I thought I saw it.
Yeah, it's right on the front.
Yeah.
Right there on the front. And we're going to do another media push with that, both Facebook, Instagram, and all those great things. So,
is the PPP window still open for general businesses?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, that's interesting. There's still PPP funding out there. And then, of course, there's another conversation going on in Washington about another wave of that as well. But the first wave of PPP, all the money was not dispersed, which is...
And I think it's through this week. I think this is the last week to apply for those funds.
It is.
And while you all are not the Small Business Administration, you certainly would help our local businesses navigate and get through to the right place. So
Absolutely.
There is still time to do that, and there are local lenders that are involved in that.
Yes, there are. And I will tell you that the local lenders have been absolutely phenomenal in their assistance. They've helped us, obviously, with information. We've directed people, even banking institutions. If you don't bank there, they've processed those loans as well, and they've turned them very quickly. Great job on our behalf of our community.
You call the partnership if you need some help or more information about that, and your all's grant thing will continue as long as
we need
or money and all that's out there.
Yep.
Do you have to prove a loss? Do you have to prove that there's been an impact?
You do have to. There is an explanation. We're trying to award. It is for Greene County businesses and Greene County businesses only, and so there is a scoring mechanism on there that the grant review committee reviews and utilizes, but it's to reward those that are based in Greene County that employ Greene County residents, and it does ask for some, what was your issue, your cause, did you recently purchased, say, some technology that was prior to COVID and the bill came in and your cash flow's a little tight, or have you purchased something to help your business be resilient through COVID and rent payments, that kind of thing. So it's a broad base there.
You've got, we see going around, you think, gosh, as tough as times are and as high as unemployment is, The reason unemployment is high is not because there aren't people that are hiring.
That is correct.
It's people that were in jobs were forced out because of the restrictions the coronavirus has put in place. There are people out there hiring now.
Yes. So while we are wearing our mask and adhering to the COVID social distancing, we have been having meetings, making phone calls. Part of our responsibility is to understand the temperature of the county and our employment numbers, and so and also to meet the needs of our industry, to make sure from workforce development, et cetera. So through those conversations, MECO is still short individuals. American Greetings is hiring. Walmart is hiring. SRK is hiring. Volk Industry is hiring as well, and so we do have jobs available in the community, and so they need you, and they will tell you, please come apply now. A lot of demand.
A lot of that has changed though since maybe I guess most people are more familiar with it. I've been lucky enough to be in a job for a while that I didn't have to do that, but I think a lot of those are hired not necessarily. You don't go up to the plant, knock on the door and say, may I have an application, please? They're either done by services or agencies, and a good portion of it's online.
Online,
Is that right?
It is. So yes, temp agencies and online are primary means to which to get to there.
Does the partnership have? Can you tell me where to go for some of these, or is it? I mean, you know who those different temp agencies are.
Yeah.
You certainly would have that information.
We do have that information, and we're, again, collecting those. We'll be launching again, back when COVID really first ramped up. Within weeks, we launched a virtual job fair, which was, I'm very proud of my staff. It was a collaborative effort that we came up with the idea, and we were the first in the region to do it. We're going to launch another one here in the next couple of weeks, just because as more jobs come available. The economy is picking up, and demand is there. I was just at MECO. They invited us out Friday to celebrate the start of a new line, and it's amazing what that plant does. And they need 20 more people, 30 more people for this new plant. Yeah. They're running at capacity. Their folks are having to work 6 days a week overtime because they don't have enough staff. I was at Miller Industries this morning. They had temporarily furloughed 137 folks, and they brought 120 back today.
Really?
Yes. They've done a brilliant job of re-engineering. The state and TVA are working with them. We're helping with some grant stuff and job training. But Miller, as many don't know, is the largest wrecker towing producer in the United States, and a high skill set there of welding and technical jobs, but they've started too. The demand's back, so a lot of good things happening in Greene County right now.
There was going to be a big push for employment in census takers.
Yes.
For Greene County, and those were going to be the people that go around house to house to house.
Yes.
A lot of that changed, and I've thought about it a couple of times. I did my census when it first came, but they haven't said we're not doing the census in 2020. It continues to be a need that people can do, and it's not something you have to have somebody at your house to complete.
No. So if you received your census in the mail, please complete that and mail it back. The Census Bureau is going to go eventually to house. October is the deadline. We are at 63% completion rate, which is very high. Actually, it's the highest in the region. So again, thank you to everybody that has filled out their census. Every person counted is funding to Greene County for a multitude of programs, whether it's education, whether it's workforce training, whether it's other social service needs. So every dollar every head counts. So please make sure that you fill that out.
I don't want them knowing all that stuff about me. Is it dangerous to fill out a census?
It is not.
Are they going to come knocking on my door in the middle of the night?
They are not.
Information that they've gleaned from that?
No, they are not. It is basically they just need to count so that they know how to appropriate funding to our county.
It was pretty simple. You went through and, they obviously, the census helps you and everybody else kind of know what's going on in the county as far as the number of people, the number of households, how many males, females, how many senior citizens, how many teenagers, and those are all things that are helpful to to plan all sorts of things. So the census is a very important thing.
It's
to do.
huge. Ron, it brings up a great point. So when we're talking to potential retailers, people, one of the reasons we got a Hobby Lobby and we got a Ross Dress for Less and all, the Commons is full now is based off of census data. So those companies look at our census data to say how many bodies, how many men, female, to meet their demographic for their corporations or for their businesses. In fact, we've had several inquiries the last couple of weeks. We've got an on-site visit coming this week with another retailer, and we have to send them that, they want to see our demographics, which is based off the census. And here's a fun fact of the day. Most people don't know this. Other than we have 632 square miles that make up a Greene County, within our census, 45% of our population are between the ages of 18 and 50.
Oh, really?
Really. You wouldn't know that unless you dig into the numbers deep, but that's why that's important. So businesses coming want to know that we're not only a great retirement community, but we also have a youthful community as well, which means for new retailers, entrepreneurs, and funding, those things matter.
If you got your census back in March and you threw it away, you can go online.
Yep.
There's ways to do that. I think Amy Rose at the town of Greenville, she was amongst the group that was helping coordinate the census results in Greene County. I'm sure you could call Amy and find out some information.
She'd love to hear from you. It's very important for every community, whether it's Tusculum, Mossheim, Greenville, Bayleton, and then the county is, all the county residents. It's funding for everybody.
We've kind of gone the wrong way as far as where we are as the number of people with the coronavirus. We certainly don't want to see that. And the more people that it infects, the more people that it affects, and the easier it is to spread. Wearing masks is what we need to be doing.
Yes, and we have free masks at the partnership. We actually, out on our portico, have a table that has a basket, and there's also another basket right by the front door. They are free masks. They were supplied by the state of Tennessee, and then also a couple of other folks have donated masks to give out. So there's free mask. And again, the governor, obviously is wanting everybody to mask up, be a superhero, mask up so we can try to get back to normalcy. The sooner that we do this, children can get back in school, football games can be played and people in attendance, and we get to do what we like to do. It's very important.
Jeff, more information if they need to talk to anybody at the partnership, they can get in touch with you at
638-4111. Just call.
Or visit the webpage at
www.greenecountypartnership.com, or just type in Greene County Partnership. It'll pull it right up.
Take you right there. Jeff Taylor, the president and CEO of the Greene County Partnership, joining us in our studios this morning. Jeff, thanks for coming by and keeping us updated.
Always a pleasure, and thank you. And thank you, Greene County, for everything that you do for us in return.